Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about some credit cards from Simmons Bank. Now, Simmons Bank they're kind of a more regional, kind of local bank. They're not a national bank. They're a little bit smaller, but I want to go over them today specifically because as far as like their credit products go, and I haven't looked into like their banking products, just kind of their credit cards. And I will in other videos discuss their banking products. But in this video, I want to talk about their credit cards mainly because they offer pretty good benefits for a regional kind of smaller bank. But one of the drawbacks with Simmons Bank is they're extremely strict on who they let into their bank. Not You can't just go in and it ain't like Capital One or whatever. You just walk in and they'll throw you a credit card or a checking account. Simmons Bank don't work like that. They do a review process. Some of their credit cards, none of their credit cards are apply that day and know whether you're denied or not. They give you the waiting period whether you applied for it and got approved or denied. Doesn't matter. And to my understanding, I think, but I'm not sure about this, I think they do manually review every application, especially like for credit cards. They review every single application manually, I believe. Not 100% certain on that, but I read that on I think my FICO forums. They were talking about this, so I do believe they do that, but I'm not 100% sure. But with that kind of overview out of the way, let's get into their credit card that I have pulled up right here, which is the Simmons Rewards Visa Signature Card. Okay, this is kind of their more flagship card. The Simmons Bank has 3 credit cards. This is kind of their top tier, high flying Visa card. Okay, and it has no annual fee. They give a 0% intro APR for 12 months on balance transfers that are completed within the first 60 days of account opening. After that, the interest rate can be anywhere from 12.25 to 20.25% APR. Purchase APR, the exact same. Okay, rewards points. This card, every time you spend money on it, they give you rewards points, basically cash back, but they call them rewards points. They give you 1.25 rewards points. And this card also has a sign-on bonus of you spend $3,000 in purchases during the first 3 months and earn 30,000 bonus rewards points. So there you go. Okay, now some of the things this card offers, they offer car rental coverage. So if you're renting a car or whatever, and let's say some of your stuff gets stolen, you basically got insurance coverage for that. 24-hour customer reps. So if you got a problem with your card, excuse me, y'all, you can just call up the bank and they'll be there to help you. Global acceptance, it's a Visa card, so overseas, Visa's pretty accepted in a lot of places, so you shouldn't have that much issue. Travel coverage, they give you up to $1 million travel accident insurance at no cost. So that comes with the card, which is nice. And then some of the perks include Visa signature card holders receive valuable perks like access to exclusive hotels, complimentary 24-hour Visa signature concierge, and special entertainment packages. So basically, they give you access to different things. From my understanding, and this is just a redneck from Oklahoma spitballing here, but from my understanding, the concierge, you like call them up and let's say you want tickets to let's say a special theater viewing in Dallas, Texas. They might be able to get a hold of an extra ticket for you. and stuff like that. I'm spitballing here. I'm making assumptions. I don't really know much about concierge and all that. That's getting fancy for me. But hey, they do offer it, so maybe it's something you might want to look into if you need or want that kind of thing. I don't know. That's why I'm giving y'all the information. Y'all got the information. Y'all can decide. Okay, let's get into the fine print here. The annual percentage rate as of September 30th, 2021. Okay. Account subject to credit approval. We'll get into the summary of rates and terms in the credit card agreement here in a minute. Okay. 1.25 reward points are earned for every $1 of net purchases to your account. Purchases exclude cash advances, balance transfers, and fees. Net purchases is the sum of posted purchases less returns and refunds. Certain restrictions, limitations, and exclusions may apply. Blah, blah, blah. 0% APR intro for 12 months on balance transfers completed within 60 days of account opening. The introductory promotional rate carries a fee of either $10 or 3% of the amount of each balance transfer, whichever is greater. After the promotional period, the purchase APR will apply. Kind of standard stuff. Okay. Okay. The sign-on bonus. Available for new card members only. Existing or former card members are not eligible. So if you have asked for or gotten the bonus on this card before, you never get it again. It's a once in a lifetime thing. To qualify, $3,000 or more of net purchases must post to your account during the first 93 days after account opening. Okay, that's pretty standard. Except for the 93. Most of the time it's 90 days, but okay. Okay, purchases exclude cash advances. We done went over that. Okay, let's get into the credit card agreement and disclaimer. Okay, so I got pulled up here the Simmons signature important disclosures. This is the rates, the terms, and all that kind of stuff. So let's go through it. Okay, the interest rate that they're going to charge you for purchases, 12.25% to 20.25%. Okay, that's on purchases. APR for balance transfers, 0% APR for 12 months from the transfer posting date to for transfers completed within the first 60 days of account opening. So you got 60 days to make the transfer, and they give you 12 months of 0% interest from the date of 0% intro for 12 months from the transfer posting date if completed within the 60 days of account opening date. Okay, let me explain this. Basically, let's say if you make a transfer on your account and it posts on the 59th day, okay, of that 60-day period window to transfer. If it posts on day 59, then you have 12 months from that date. This is different than a lot of other cards. Okay, so be aware of that. That is my understanding of this. Read it. If you don't understand it, call them up. Be like, hey, I don't understand this. And they'll be able to explain it to you. After that, 12.25 to 20.25% based on your creditworthiness. Okay, APR for cash advances and convenience checks. 16.25% to 24.25%. Okay, so if you take a cash advance out of an ATM, they're going to sock you with this interest rate. Also, the little convenience checks that they sometimes send you in the mail, which I haven't never seen them, but apparently some credit cards do actually send those, so that's neat. But if they send you those convenience checks, if you use them, you're going to be paying that rate. How to avoid paying interest on purchases. Your due date is 25 days after the close of each billing cycle. We will not charge you interest on any balances if paid in full by the end of each month. Okay, we will begin charging interest on cash advances, balance transfers, and convenience checks on the transaction date. Pretty standard. Okay, annual fee, they don't have one. Balance transfer. First 60 days after account opening, either $10 or 3% of the amount of each balance transfer, whichever is greater. After the first 60 days, they don't charge you a transfer fee. But that's because they're charging you interest. So, transaction fee, cash advance, they're going to charge you either $4 or 3% of each cash advance, which honestly, that's not that bad. I've seen a lot of way higher than that. So, not that bad. Foreign transaction fee, 2% of each transaction in US dollars. Late payment fee, they're going to charge you $39. Return payment, they're going to charge you $39. Okay. Late payment fee. The late payment fee is $25 if you were not charged a late payment fee during any of the prior 6 statement cycles. Otherwise, it is $39. The amount of your late payment fee will never be higher than your minimum payment due. Okay, so if you haven't missed a payment, or if you haven't been late on a payment within a 6-month period, and then you are, they're only going to charge you $25. So that's nice of them. Again, pay your bill in full on time. Don't be retarded. But hey, variable rates, to determine the rate, they tell you how they determine it. Terms and conditions, authorized to pull credit. That's kind of a duh. Minimum payment. The minimum payment is calculated as 1% of the new balance plus all finance charges, late fees, and past due amounts, or $10, whichever is greater. Application of payments. Excuse me, guys. Okay. We apply payments up to the minimum payment due at our discretion in accordance with law. This will result in balances at lower interest rates being paid before other balances. This may also result in higher interest charges. Payments in excess of the minimum payment due will be applied first to your highest interest rate balance in accordance with law. Although we may post payments from you as of the date we receive them, your available credit may not be restored for up to 7 days after we credit the payment. Consent to communication, monitoring, recording. Phone calls, balance transfers. We went over that. Military Lending Act. Sharing. Okay, if you live in California, Delaware, Oregon, New York, Ohio, New York, Rhode Island, or Vermont, or married and live in Wisconsin, you want to read all of these because they may apply to you. And they may be different terms than if you're somebody that lives in Texas, Oklahoma, or Alabama, or, I don't know, Montana. Maybe a little bit different. Read the fine print. Alright, so. Okay, we got right here the credit card agreement. Excuse me. Now, I'm just going to skim through this. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but always go through this, read the fine print. That way, if you get in a deal and you get in problems, you know exactly what rules apply where. Because if you don't, you can get screwed. And that's where the bank is out to screw you, is in these agreements. Because they expect nobody's going to read them. Okay, using your account, you may use your account to make purchases or cash advances by presenting your card. Duh. Okay, promise to pay. Basically, you said when you applied for this, you said, I promise to pay you your money back with interest. Unauthorized use. Okay, if your card gets stolen or some weird transactions, you have a responsibility to tell the bank as soon as you notice it. Credit limits, they determine your credit limit. Pretty simple. Interest charges, fees, all the different fees. Okay, over the credit limit fee. If you exceed any credit limit on your account, you may be charged an over the credit limit fee as specified by the company's summary of rates and terms. We went over that. I didn't see that fee in there, but that don't mean they don't have one. Okay, payments and statements. We already kind of went over that. Application of payments, minimum payment due, default. Okay. Reevaluation of financial condition and credit history. We may reevaluate your financial condition and investigate any information you provided on your account application at any time. In the course of doing so, we may obtain a current credit report and ask for additional information about your credit condition by completing a personal financial statement or other such form that we request from time to time. Basically, they're saying if we suspect that you lied on your stuff, we're going to dig in and see if we got any reason to send you on your way. That's basically what that's saying. And then changes to the agreement basically says they can modify the contract anytime they want. Again, read through this. I'm just skimming through it, kind of pointing out some highlights. If you're a military member, Military Lending Act protections, you have certain rights and stuff given to you that the normal person may not. Certain rights and privileges. Arbitration and jury trial waiver. Basically, you have a problem between you and the bank, you go to arbitration. There's no jury trial. You don't take this to court and all that kind of crap. Basically, they're saying you can't because you signed your rights away when you applied for the account. Almost all banks have this in it when you apply for a credit card for them. Almost all of them do. If there's one that don't, I would love to know. So, but be aware, this is in there. There's ways to get around it, but it's in there. Waiver of rights, assignment, government law, state notices, okay, Okay, so that's kind of the nuts and bolts of this credit card account. So, I mean, that's kind of the the overview of it and stuff. I wanted to go over it a little bit because this bank, Simmons Bank, they're a smaller bank, but they're a lot pickier on who they want to be their customers. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to go over this card. And I will be looking into like their checking and savings accounts later in another video. But for now, I just wanted to go over a credit card, kind of roughly talk it over, and show y'all some of the information and some of the stuff they offer. So, with that being said, y'all, I'm going to call it on this one, and I will see y'all in the next video. Take care, y'all.